Kosan 1. The storm only tested your foundation.
Pressure is shaping a voice strong enough to carry truth. Not the kind of truth that shouts over everyone in the room, but the kind that survives empty refrigerators, unpaid bills folded into kitchen drawers, and the silence that settles over a family table when everyone is pretending not to worry. What is being formed in you right now was never built for easy seasons. It was built for the weight. There was a time when you thought strength would look heroic. You imagined it would arrive as certainty, as confidence, as a moment where fear simply packed its bags and left your chest. But that is not how resilience entered your life. It came wearing ordinary clothes. It sounded like your mother speaking more softly than usual when talking about money. It looked like your father staring at numbers too long, as if by sheer focus he could force them to change shape. The crisis did not announce itself with thunder. It began like a crack in glass. A delayed payment. A business setback. A job lost. A debt that was manageable until suddenly it wasn't. Then the crack widened. Family plans became postponed dreams. Small comforts turned into luxuries. Every purchase became a discussion. Every discussion carried an undertone of guilt. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, you changed. Not instantly, not dramatically, quietly. Like wood under pressure becoming denser at its core. That is the part few people understand about storms. They are not only weather, they are architects. They expose what was decoration and what was structure. The financial crisis in your family did not merely threaten comfort. It revealed everyone's inner scaffolding. It showed who could stay calm, who collapsed into blame, who disappeared emotionally, and who became the unexpected pillar. You became aware of burdens no one had ever intended to place on your shoulders. You heard whispers through half-closed doors.
Well, figure it out.
Don't tell the kids yet. Maybe next month. We can sell it if we have to. But children, even grown ones, can feel the weather in a house before anyone names the storm. The air changes. Laughter gets shorter. Lights turn off earlier. People sit with their phones, not scrolling, just thinking. The home becomes a place where everyone is trying to protect everyone else from the same fear. That was when something sacred began in you. Not comfort. Clarity. You started to understand that survival is not just about money. It is about the emotional metabolism of a family. It is about whether fear gets converted into wisdom or poison. Some families break in crisis because hardship turns everyone inward. But your soul was being trained towards something rarer. To become a bridge. To hold your own grief without amplifying everyone else's. To stay honest without becoming hopeless. To carry concern without turning it into panic. That is a holy kind of maturity, even if it never receives applause. The strange thing is, the crisis did not only reveal weakness. It revealed hidden nobility. You saw your mother stretch meals with quiet genius, turning almost nothing into enough. You saw exhaustion in your father's eyes, but also dignity. Even in loss, he kept waking up early, still trying, still carrying the invisible obligation of protecting the family's future. You saw siblings begin to understand sacrifice. Luxury dissolved, and in its place came intimacy. The family began to see each other more clearly, stripped of distractions. The storm took away excess, but it also removed illusion. That is why the pain of this season cannot be measured only by what was lost financially. Something more profound was happening. Your inner voice was changing. Before this, your words may have been shaped by convenience, by what sounded good, by what kept peace, by what avoided discomfort. But now pressure was shaping a voice strong enough to carry truth. Truth about limits. Truth about priorities. Truth about what really sustains a household. Truth about the difference between image and integrity. You started to notice how much of modern life is built on fragile performance. People display success while drowning in debt. Families smile in photos while collapsing behind closed doors. Many homes are built with polished walls and hollow beams. But not yours. Not anymore. Your foundation was being tested, yes, but it was also being reinforced. The metaphor that keeps returning around your life is this. A house in a storm does not pray for less wind. It depends on deeper roots in the ground beneath it. And your roots were going down. Every difficult conversation became a root. Every sacrifice, another root. Every time you chose honesty over denial, another root. This is why what feels like suffocation is also formation. The burden you carried for your family was not only emotional, it was existential. You started questioning your own future. Should you delay your dreams to help stabilize the household? Should you become the practical one? Should you chase security over calling? Should your ambitions be folded and tucked away like the unpaid notices in the drawer? This is where many chosen souls lose themselves. They mistake responsibility for self-erasure. Listen carefully. Supporting your family does not require abandoning your becoming. The deeper lesson of this storm is not martyrdom, it is alignment. A tree that leans too far trying to shelter others eventually snaps. Resilience is not endless self-sacrifice, it is wise load-bearing. You are learning the sacred engineering of strength. What can I carry? What belongs to someone else? What pain needs compassion, and what pain needs boundaries? These are not cold questions. They are how love survives pressure. There may have been nights when you lay awake calculating possibilities. If this bill gets paid, that one waits. If this opportunity works, maybe the family breathes. If I push harder, maybe everyone feels safer. And with every mental equation, your nervous system became a battlefield. But storms often teach through inversion. The lesson was never that you had to become the savior of the entire household. The lesson was that your calm could become contagious. Your clarity could stabilize chaos. Your willingness to speak the difficult truth could stop the family from drowning in polite denial. That is a stronger gift than money alone. Because money can fix a month. Wisdom can restore generations. Somewhere in this season, you began to see inherited patterns. The fear around lack. The silence around finances. The shame around asking for help. The habit of pretending things are fine until they become emergencies. This storm was not random. It was revealing ancestral architecture. And you, chosen one, were not just surviving it. You were reading the blueprint. That is why this crisis feels strangely initiatory. It is teaching you what kind of future you will build one day, not just materially, emotionally, spiritually, practically. The practical transformation lesson hidden in this storm is simple but life-altering. Resilience grows when truth becomes routine. Not occasional honesty. Routine truth. A weekly family check-in. Transparent conversations about needs and limits. A written plan instead of anxious guessing. A willingness to name fear before it mutates into resentment. Pressure often turns homes into echo chambers of unspoken dread. But when truth enters rhythm, fear loses its throne. This is how foundations are rebuilt. Brick by brick. Not with grand speeches, with habits.
A budget is not just numbers.
It is emotional order. A shared plan is not just strategy. It is trust made visible. A difficult conversation is not conflict. It is reinforcement. You are learning that love without structure can drown under pressure. But love with structure becomes shelter. There is another layer here, one that lives beneath the practical. The storm forced everyone in your family to confront identity. Who are we when abundance is gone? Who are we when comfort disappears? Who are we when reputation can no longer hide fragility? And the answer emerging is beautiful. You are still a family, still capable of warmth, still capable of humor, still capable of eating simple food and finding meaning in the togetherness of it. Sometimes crisis removes extravagance only to reveal essence. A meal becomes sacred because everyone is still there.
A conversation becomes healing because no one is pretending anymore.
A laugh becomes medicine because it arrived honestly. This is not the story of collapse. It is the story of compression turning coal into diamond memory. Years from now, this season will not only be remembered as the time money was tight. It will be remembered as the season everyone learned what home really means. Not square footage. Not furniture. Not status. Home is the emotional climate people create for each other when life becomes difficult. And you are helping shape that climate. Maybe no one has said thank you. Maybe your efforts have gone unnoticed because everyone is too overwhelmed to articulate gratitude. But the unseen work matters. The quiet encouragement. The refusal to spiral. The moments you redirected conversations away from blame and toward solutions. The times you held your own tears until later so the room could stay steady. These acts are not small. They are beams in the ceiling. The storm outside may still be raging. Bills may still need answers. Opportunities may still be uncertain. The future may still look like fog. But something in your house is different now. The foundation has memory. It remembers surviving. It remembers the nights when things looked impossible and morning still arrived. It remembers the way everyone learned to bend without breaking. That memory becomes strength. And strength becomes legacy. One day when prosperity returns, you will carry this season like a hidden compass. You will know how to build differently. Emergency funds instead of denial. Conversations instead of secrets. Purpose-driven work instead of image-driven hustle. A family culture where asking for help is seen as wisdom, not weakness. The storm did not come to destroy your house. It came to show where reinforcement was needed. That is why your spirit feels older now. Not tired. Seasoned. Like oak that has stood through many winters and no longer confuses noise with danger. There is power in the voice being shaped within you. It is becoming less reactive, more rooted. Less eager to impress, more committed to what is true. This voice will not only serve your family in crisis, it will one day guide others through theirs. Because people trust those whose words carry weather in them. And your words now carry weather. They carry nights of uncertainty. They carry the discipline of choosing faith over panic. They carry the tenderness of watching loved ones struggle and still believing in tomorrow. That is authority born honestly. Not from theory. From surviving. So if this season has made you feel heavier, understand what that heaviness really is. It is density. The soul becoming load-bearing. The heart becoming wiser than impulse. The mind learning to separate urgency from importance. The voice becoming capable of carrying truth without shattering under it. Pressure is shaping a voice strong enough to carry truth. And that truth is this: your family is more than this crisis. Your identity is bigger than this burden. Your future is not cancelled by this storm. The foundation held. And because it held, what comes next can rise higher. So tonight, if fear returns and starts knocking around the walls of your mind, place your hand over your heart and remember. Some storms come to prove what can stand. This one found your roots. And your roots answered. Affirmations. 1. I am becoming stronger, wiser, and more grounded through every challenge. 2. My family's storm is building a legacy of resilience, truth, and unity. 3. I carry calm, clarity, and courage into every uncertain season. Blessing. May peace settle over your household like warm light through a cracked window. May every place where fear once echoed become a room of wisdom. May provision meet effort, may truth replace silence, and may your family discover that what held you together was never money alone, but love strengthened by honesty, discipline, and grace. May the foundation beneath your life continue to deepen until no storm can make you forget who you are. Amen.